G'day and welcome back to yet another mapping tutorial for beginners. Today we will be working on sky. Now sky is something that you really need to try and get right if you at least have even a small patch of it in your map. Because even having like just a blank sky where all you can see is the sky itself, it's rather boring. You need to try and add in objects to try and make it more interesting and give your map a better environment. Okay. So first of all we need to try and get the sky into our map. Now I realised in the previous tutorial I explained about about this thing over here before. I explained about it again. Now sorry about that if anyone is pretty upset about it. But anyways, now I realise that I have not spoken about the vertex tool yet, which is this tool here. Now what this does is it selects a brush and it displays all the corners and centers and stuff like that so that you can bend it, which is what someone else was asking about last time. So what I did was I selected every single wall that I want to try and modify, which means I select all of those and select these as well and select the roof as well. So what I did was I selected them all, and then I used the vertex tool, which is this, clicked on it, and now it's displaying all the corners. Now what we can do now is we can move it around much faster than doing everything individually, which is what I'm pretty sure heaps of people will be doing. If you want to do it a lot faster, I suggest you do it like this. So what you do is you select everything, you can click and drag to create a box around what you want to do. You don't have to do anything over here. Or on this thing, since that it just selects everything. It's just on the side view that it can see. If you wanted it so that it's like just select anything on that side or on that side, yeah, sure, go straight ahead. But anyways, select everything that you want and press enter. See, now it's made all the white squares red. That's what we wanted. To move them around, you just click on the red squares. Okay, well that didn't work. But usually you need to try and select them properly. Alright, so now that didn't work out very well. So what we'll do is we'll try it again. Here we go. So yeah, clicking on the red squares. And then you click and drag and you can move them around, do whatever you want. So you can bend them around, you don't just move them up and down, side to side. So now what we want to try and do is move it around so that it's at the right height. So we don't want the sky to be extremely high so that we can't see anything. Okay. Now take it this is an alright height. Okay. So after you're finished, just press the select tool and it should be back to where it was. Okay. So that's all sweet. Okay. Now to open up the sky I need to remove that. Okay. Now what we need to do is actually add in the sky itself. Okay, now let's look for the texture, which is what we'll need. Type in tools, sky, and use the one which has skybox in the middle of it, not 2D, not sky fog, just skybox. Alright, so that's the actual sky itself. So what we'll do now is we'll create the skybox, which is what the player is actually looking at when they're in the actual game itself. You really need to try and create the skybox around the map, not on it or something like that, so it actually gives the map more of a 3D feeling to it. Okay, so create one on the top as well. Make sure everything's there. It's all squared up, no leaks. Alright, so yep, there's the skybox. Now if we tried playing it like this, it will come up with the sky. But that's all, it's interesting, but you really need to add more into it to give it more environment. Okay, so I'll just square some of these things up so that it's a bit more interesting. Okay, now there's another thing. When you're using sky, it's best to try and use a light environment, which is where the sky is actually projecting the light itself. So what we'll do is we'll change this light to a light environment. Okay, now light environments don't really go by the brightness, they go by the ambient, but you can change the brightness, which I'll change it to 800 brightness. And on the ambient, I'll change this to, change it to 800 as well, and I'll give it a blue sky. Oh, that's right. And change it so that it's pointing down as well, so that it's actually projecting everything which is below the sky rather than just on one wall or something like that. Okay, yep, that's our sky. Let's just save this. Did practice of this before just to make sure that I did everything correctly. Alright, yep, so that's our sky, everything's all great, but now we need to add objects into it. Okay, so what